Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Shred Sessions. Kick Out at 2 is here. Welcome, guys. Woo-woo. You guys are doing a run with Fliora right now. How's that been?
It's been good so far. Yeah, we've done 5 days. We had our show got canceled last minute yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we scrambled and tried to make something happen, but it's all good. We ended up going and eating Mexican and bowling with the Fliora boys, so it was fun. Yeah.
Cool. Was that in Arkansas or something like that?
Yeah, that was in Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah. It was unfortunate, but I'm sure we'll get to go back and do something at some point soon, so no big deal. It happens, right?
Gotcha, man.
Yeah.
So, real quick, can you guys just introduce yourselves to the audience and let us know what you do in the band?
Yeah, so I'm Nathan. I actually originally played bass guitar, but I ended up switching over to guitar now, so just kind of chill out in that position.
Ryan, I play drums.
Jason, I do vocals.
Rad.
Yeah.
Well, it's awesome to have you guys here. And you guys are a Chattanooga band, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, dude, walk us through how this band got started. I'm assuming based on we're all kind of a similar age, I feel like.
Yeah.
You guys have probably played in other bands too, so if you want to talk about the bands that you were in. But yeah, let's start with like how did this band form?
Okay. So myself and another guy that's in the band that couldn't do this tour, so he's not here, but Casey, he plays guitar also. So we have been really good friends for a long time. Ran a venue in Chattanooga together. But we've always been in bands, but separate bands, right? But have very similar tastes in music. We saw Comeback Kid in the Shed at Furnace Fest 21, and it just like profoundly affected us, I think, because we were already both big like Comeback Kid fans. And so I remember turning to him and was like, all right, now's the time. We've got to start like our band together. And so we spent a little more than a year, maybe like every 2 weeks we would get together and we'd write songs. I can play like bare bones drums, like not great, not anything great, but enough to write songs, right? And so we wrote 5 songs in like a little over a year to kind of establish what was the beginning of the sound. Then we got Ryan involved. We got Ryan involved, and Ryan took all of my bare bones drum parts and made them awesome drum parts. And then we got Nathan involved, another guy involved, and then we were a full 5-piece. We started playing shows. But once Nathan and Ryan got involved, we were able to kind of really hone in on what we wanted the sound to be, and it changed a little bit. Like, I don't even think we played one of those songs that me and Casey wrote. But that's cool.
Got
but that's kind of how
new
it started.
tunes now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And dude, when you first got here, we were connecting over like the As Hell Retreats connection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because this guy was originally gonna play that second guitar, or I guess bass.
I was going to offer. I offered to play bass on the tour.
You were talking with Tyler Riley. Yeah. What band were you playing in at that time?
Both me and Ryan played in a kind of like a Christian hardcore band called In This Hour at that time. And that was we met all the guys through As Hell Retreats with. They came. I think they played our CD release show a couple other times. So we just befriended them because we enjoyed the music. So that was a long time ago. It was fun, but it ended up, like I said, it was a fun time. That was a project that we attempted to get going, and I had a couple of cool opportunities. And shout out to Tyler for hollering at me that one day and for me turning him down because I was on the road already.
Right.
So,
hey, and I mean, no joke. In This Hour was awesome. Like it started as this one thing, but then kind of like morphed into more of like a turmoil and like
we lost our minds over like Advent.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Like that was the whole idea.
I was trying not to call you an Advent ripoff.
Nathan got obsessed with Naked and Cold, and then
Naked and Cold. What a great record.
Right.
Yeah.
I've actually collabed with Jordan McGee, their drummer, quite a bit.
Oh,
Man.
nice.
He's a great dude, and a lot of the time I'll be at a show and like he'll be there with his buddy Scotty, and we always hang out and go to shows and stuff. Not really like plan on going together, but we were like, yo, dude.
Yeah, you see him there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jordan's cool. Yeah. He played in like the Ember Days,
right,
and stuff back in the day. Yeah, played that venue. That's where we all met. Was all through that venue, and how we know everyone we know. Yeah, so
yeah. I feel like the four of us here we're kind of like a remnant of like that Christian metal days, and
I want that was cool.
I want to get into that a little bit at some point.
We love it,
because it's just interesting. I guess I guess we can get into it now. Of course, I want to talk about your EP that you have out, as well as what's coming up later this year. But I guess like for me, it just seems like Christian metal was culturally relevant for a time. You know, maybe throughout the 90s and like the 2000s, and then starting into the 2010s. But I always go back to like 2012 as like this shift where a lot of bands like either left face down or like renounced their faith, or it's just an interesting thing. And when I think about Christian metal today, you know, there's a handful of bands. You know, you still have Impending Doom.
Right.
You've got Holy Name that a lot of people love. It's like worship metal.
Yeah.
But
there's like big ones coming up too. I mean, I feel like they're big. They feel big when I scroll and see them on Instagram, right? Like Convictions and Bloodlines and stuff like that, right? I think is awesome as a Christian like myself, you know.
Sure.
I'm sure it's not for everybody, but I mean, I still think it's cool that, like what you were talking about, that in the early to mid 2000s, like I feel like a big reason why Christian metal and metalcore and hardcore was so prevalent was because those were the best bands. Yeah. Right. But they just happened to also be Christian bands.
Based, yeah.
Right. And like Tooth and Nail and Solid State had such a stronghold on like distribution and touring and stuff at the time. And so that was what was there. And that's what everybody liked. So it's cool to see that, as like what you're talking about, Drew, when it kind of like fell out in those early 2010s, that bands are still wanting to bring that back up. Like it's still a thing that people are interested in and want to be a part of, right?
Yeah, man. I think for a while it wasn't culturally relevant.
Yes.
You know, it's like the voice. A lot of the time, like different music scenes and different, you know, music movements. They're like kind of tapped into the culture. And like we were talking a minute ago about the whole ICE thing, right? Like every hardcore band now is like ICE sucks, you know, and
which is fair.
Sure. Yes. I mean,
so absolutely.
I don't think it's cool when the government is abducting people. No. And as soon as you're like for that, your time, in my opinion, your time is coming for the government to abduct you. You know, for being on the wrong side of the law. Obviously, like it's a scary thing, man. To like. So it's obviously a very nuanced issue that I don't want to really unpack that immigration and immigration law, but it's just interesting to see like so many bands like, you know, releasing anti-ICE songs and from the stage, you know, kind of touting that message.
Yeah, like being like what you're talking about, being culturally relevant.
Yeah,
like how maybe Christian music was like in that early to mid 2000s. Now it's almost like anti-government.
I feel like it's like it is culturally relevant now,
right?
Because being a Christian today, it's very like anti-establishment.
Yeah,
you know,
compared to back then, right? Yeah,
compared
absolutely.
to back then, yeah, it was, you know, I guess like the religious right, you know, you were maybe an offshoot of that, but I think Christian metal was always like a very countercultural thing. That's just my take on that. But yeah, you guys got any other thoughts on that, or?
I'm not walking down that road.
Okay. Fair enough. But I mean, speaking to that and like former bands, yeah, like the band I was in at the time, like In This Hour was like a chaotic metalcore band that I did vocals in from Chattanooga, and I was like the only Christian member, but I was the vocalist, so I wrote Christian lyrics. So of course that didn't like pan out great over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It was definitely a thing. Ryan's old band was like a screamo band. They got covered by Alternative Press, which is cool.
Yeah.
But they played with Christian bands all the time, right? It's just a thing.
Yeah. That's interesting. So why aren't you interested in is like faith just not something that's a part of your life now?
No, like, I'm definitely I'm still a faith person. I still walk down that road. I just try not to ruffle feathers.
Oh, sure, man. I hear that. And like, I think more Christians should just make art and not make it like, put it in this box of like, I want to talk about God, or if you want to praise God, you can of course do that in your music. But I just think Christians need to focus on making good art and not having some like not making the message like the center, like unless you want to be a ministry band. I've just never been interested in being in ministry, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just a Christian dude that try to make cool things, you know.
Yeah.
And I want it to be as good as the secular thing or whatever.
Right,
you know?
exactly. And like,
so that's my take
I think I'm kind of similar boat, right? And even like on the record that we've had out for a while, like being a Christian, like themes that come out in the lyrics and stuff are still like based around faith and dealing with real world issues from a perspective of being a Christian. You might not like see that immediately, like when you read into it, but maybe the struggles I talk about having mentally or something, but what got me out of it was having faith. Right.
Yeah.
And that's not something I talk about from stage because I want people to take, if they bother to even read lyrics for my band, right, to take what they can out of it and hopefully like encourage them in whatever they're dealing with. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with faith for them. It can, and that would be awesome. And I'd love to talk to them about it, but it doesn't have to be something pushed by the band. Right.
Right. You don't have to spoon feed your message to people, you know? Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and it's only come up on the podcast a handful of times, and I think most people know that I'm a Christian, and like if you don't want to come on the show because of that, I think that's kind of lame because like, man, I look at myself as a journalist. Like I would interview any black metal, any anti-Christian, you know, and I have before, and it's not my job to censor like their speech or censor what they want to say. And I would hope that other people wouldn't want to censor me by not coming on the show because of something like that.
I know it seems silly because everyone is just so different, like culturally, like even just in Tennessee, right? Not to mention the United States or North America or the world, right?
Yeah.
We're also different, like, so you would expect us to be maybe different in how we believe about things like that, like why we're here or how we were made. And so it's just strange to like completely shun someone off because they have a difference in maybe of how they think about that compared to you, right? It is a strange idea to me.
Yeah, I think people should be more open to discourse about that stuff. And I think, man, when I was kind of first starting the podcast and when I was outside of like the hardcore scene, I kind of had this idea of what people in the hardcore scene believed. And now that I've like made a lot of friends and met a lot of people at shows, like everybody has different thoughts on it, almost everything. And I'm like that. I actually felt a lot of relief when I found that out because, you know, I know there's chants like the fuck ice chant or whatever, you know, people are going to do that. But like, it was just cool to like meet people that have either similar thoughts that I have about certain issues or a similar worldview that's like in the hardcore scene, you know. I think a lot of the time that group of people that go to shows, they get kind of lumped into one particular worldview or mindset, right? So that's just something that I've noticed lately. So yeah, what's the scene like in Chattanooga these days? You guys play a lot locally?
Not as much. We did probably that first year, like when you say, and then we kind of like we have a decent drive like in our band. Like we want to be in new places in front of new people and get our music out. Just, you know, to try to take that next step, right? And so sometimes that means just only playing Chattanooga twice a year, right?
Yeah.
But
there's not a lot of places to play in Chattanooga now.
Yeah. I
like
guess
most of the venues are open for a period of season and then they close out. So there's only just a limited.
Yeah, there's not really like a solid music scene anymore. No. It's
kind of floats.
I think there are in like certain aspects, and sometimes we don't fit into that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Because like what you were talking about earlier, Drew, is that like we're kind of from like a different generation. But
millennials, dog.
Right.
Yeah, we're old.
The post-COVID boom of aggressive music, and hey, we start a band, let's do it, and try to get it while it's hot, right? But I mean, we still get a good reception in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
I just think that like the bands that are going now, like in their 20s, you know, obviously they're going to draw more people. They're going to have more fun. Those are all their friends in their community, right? Whereas we, unfortunately, like me and Nathan both have kids and we just can't go to like every show all the time, I'll still try to come out and see cool bands and see young bands and see how awesome they're doing, like in representing Chattanooga or coming through Chattanooga. I love it. But like they both said, they're unfortunately we'll have venues come up and do well and be around for a year or two, establish a cool community around it, the people that just come to all the shows, which is awesome, right? But then some kind of drama happens like within the business and it just shuts down. And like right now, we're trying to plan a show in May to make it like a big thing, and we are struggling to like find a place to do it.
You're putting on like a little bit of a fest maybe, or just
mainly
a show?
to release our new record.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Chattanooga has some sick restaurants and cool spaces though.
Oh yeah,
Nathan's a restaurant guy.
I'm a restaurant guy.
Oh yeah,
that's
really?
for sure.
What are you, a cook or a chef?
No, I cooked for years, but not now. I just enjoyed nice restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so how are you a restaurant guy today? You're just saying you like the scene.
Yeah, I just enjoy going out to eat.
I thought like you worked in that world.
No. I did that years ago. Not no more.
Gotcha. So I think about guys in like our age group, 30s. Is being in a band just something that you have to do? I feel like you just.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I've been in bands since 8th grade, so it's kind of like it's weird to not be in a band.
Yeah.
The longest time I've ever been at like not in a band was probably like 8 months, and it was just real strange. So it's just kind of like just what I know. It's what I've always known.
Yeah. Very cool.
I disappeared for like
Oh wow.
like 7 years.
Yeah.
And didn't play music.
You hardly listen to music too.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
Yeah, I like quit listening to
It's podcasts only.
No, I didn't listen to anything, dude.
Oh, you
like, the boys like lose their minds in the truck with me because I will ride for hours in dead silence.
What?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Or
what do they call that? Raw dogging
with.
it? Or like, when you're on a plane and you have like no stimulus, no AirPods, no.
That's Nathan. He'll just do it. Or he'll talk. Yeah. He'll call everyone he knows 5 times in a row.
Yeah, I don't have to talk a lot on the phone, but like, I was out of music for quite some time where I didn't play. I kept all my gear. I had everything to have been a massive touring band if I'd have wanted to. I still had all my road cases and everything, but I just simply never played. I'd play guitar at maybe a church gig or some other little gig, but like for heavy music, like I did not play it at all. Like
I didn't think he was going to join this band. Like he's the first person I thought of.
That's the reason I played bass. I told him that I was too busy and I didn't have time to like mentally think about how to play guitar good again. Like that tight for that solid music. I was like, hey, I'll play bass because it makes 0 brain cells for me. Like I just have to play the basics.
Yeah.
I just knew what he would contribute to this band as far as like writing and stuff. And this is our third band we've been in together. And I was like, I really want Nathan to join this.
If you've got good chemistry with other dudes and you know how to work with them, sometimes
that was the easy thing for me and Ryan. We'd wrote songs together for years, and I knew how he wrote, and he knows how I write. And
work well together.
Yeah, it makes just life simple for that. And I had no plans to do that, but hey,
here we are. Playing guitar.
Hell yeah. What about you, Jason? Like,
I was actually out probably a similar amount of time as Nathan. So that band I was in like broke up actually because of like issues with me wanting to push Faith and them not. And that's okay. We were still friends for a long time. We all agreed it was something that we'd rather be friends and not have to worry about trying to make that work. But then I still helped run that venue for quite some time after that. So I was still plugged into music until around that 2013 was our last year running the venue because everything had just died out so bad. And me and Casey, the other guy in the band that ran the venue, we were both burnt out, man. Like we're talking doing 3 shows a week every week while working full time, right? Getting off and then going and running a venue. And it's not like being a promoter and like setting up a show at an established business already. Like we had a 501c3 and like had to rent a building and pay electricity and pay water and clean it and take out the trash and update the sound and build a stage, right? All that. And we got burnt out. But
Wow.
we got engaged the same year too. I think that was a big part of it. And then married the same year too, like the following year. But yeah, I was out of music, and I actually a little tidbit. I was a pro wrestler right after that for like 5 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was super sick.
What was your wrestler name, bro?
It was Ryan Vega.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, my little brother. We grew up watching wrestling together. Right, love it. And his first name is Ryan, so it's kind of like a ode to him. But yeah, I never really. I mean, there were times where I would get the itch where I want to get back into music. Then I was really focused on wrestling, and then I stopped wrestling. It was hard on my body. I was gone every weekend, at least 3 hours one way or something. It's a lot like a band. Like, you package and brand yourself and take yourself to different, like what we would do is, venues as a band, but this would be like promotions for wrestling, and wrestling in like Florida and the Carolinas and Alabama and Georgia and all that. And so, like, because I wanted to do it right and try to, make something out of it, but it wasn't really working with my relationship at the time too. And so I stopped doing that. And then to get a little serious, I actually had an anger issue. And it's something I ended up going to therapy for. And so what my therapist helped me figure out is that I didn't have a creative outlet anymore. And he actually pitched me, I told him I had like written like short like things for ideas for children's books. He was like, you should like pursue that more. But I was kind of checked out on that. Like, I tried it for a while and I didn't really want to do it anymore. But I thought more about it, and I was like, well, maybe I should just start a band again. And I was like right around the same time when we did Furnace Fest 21, saw Comeback Kid, and me and Casey was like, okay. So just kind of all lined up perfect, right? So yeah, so that was also like the other half of motivation for starting this band, was to find a creative outlet to potentially better myself, right?
And it occupies your mind like all the time, like throughout the day. So it's a constant thing you can, focus on. And
For sure.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very positive. Music is a positive force.
Oh yeah,
usually.
Yeah.
Until it's not, right?
Right.
Or something you're in a band that's not clicking. But I don't know, man. I personally, and I don't know if you guys feel this, but I get this like societal pressure. Being like a guy that's like almost 40 years old and is shredding guitar in his room and making YouTube videos and running a podcast. And I to be honest, my family too, like they're like, I think they think I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Right.
Yep. And like he's been trying this music thing for so long and he's not famous yet. So like he should probably stop that. I don't know. Do you guys ever get that from your family? Like that kind of like,
my parents asked me to play country music all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you could just sing, son, and play your acoustic.
Yeah.
You could really make some good money.
Yeah.
I like your impression of your dad.
Yeah, it'd be like my dad. I'm like, yeah, I bet so.
I love my parents, but I just don't think they maybe they just don't understand. But yeah, my dad told me to start a guitar raffle company. Like those
raffle,
those truck raffle companies where people like buy like sweatshirts.
Yeah,
and they make $1 million, but then they give a truck away for like $75,000, and then they give you some cash. He's like, you could do that with guitars.
Yeah, you sell your house for free. So you take raffle tickets that are $1 and they give you 400,000 tickets and you sold your house for 400,000. Yeah, I get it.
It's funny. Yeah. But my dad was like, you could do, you buy a Les Paul, a $4,000 Les Paul, and then net like $50,000 in like merch and stuff like that, and then give the guitar away. And
dude, your dad may not be a bad idea.
It's probably a brilliant idea, but I'm just like,
idea.
I'm like, Dad, I make music. I play metal. I play extreme metal, and that's what I do. And it's just it's just like the boomer disconnect, man. Like that's been a tough thing for me like the last couple of years.
You think so? I've had like the opposite experience.
Really?
Yeah. Then my dad is a former pastor.
Yeah.
And was very supportive of music, mainly because I taught myself to play drums because he needed someone to play drums at church for the youth group. And so they literally bought a drum, like the cheapest drum set possible, right? And I taught myself how to play drums to like Reliant K and stuff like that, right? But he has been awesome always through music. My mom too. Like my dad took me to Cornerstone in Florida in 2005, right? I'm like up there like having the time of my life, like watching The Showdown and like Living Sacrifice, so Under Oath when they were on They're Only Chasing Safety and Emery and all that. It was awesome. And my dad's just standing back there grinning ear to ear, happy because his son's happy.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's awesome.
My parents are happy that they love that I play music. They would just rather me make money doing it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Of course, that's always the goal, man, to be like reciprocated for people to see a value in what you're doing,
right?
With your art, that they're willing to,
that's like monetary. That's not, mental value or anything like that.
And I will say, like my wife's family, they do Southern gospel, so they're singers, and I used to play with them for a while, but they were really supportive of music and my YouTube channel and stuff. And look, my family, I think they just want me to be happy,
right?
But like, I think they're also, it's from like a place of like, work, like, why is he still trying to do this music thing? And
right, you could spend that. You could spend that time doing something else. I guess.
I don't know what I would do. I would probably just die.
Yeah, like what you were saying, like you just can't imagine doing anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like no matter what I'm doing in life until I'm dead, I'll probably still find a way to be in a band, make music somehow.
Right.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fun because you get to, if I didn't do this, I'd work like
a
65 hours a week instead of 60.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to work more because I ain't got anything else to do. I mean, besides go home to my wife and daughter, but like, I'm just going to work. If I'm not playing music, I'm going to work extra. Mm-hmm. So this is a fun outlet to be able to, have a little bit of time. For us, it's, mainly because of me and Jason, more or less, our like music time to write, to practice, to have fun is like, doesn't start until like 9:30 at night.
Yep.
After because we put our kids to bed and then we drive to practice.
Yep.
Whoa,
and then we practice till
sometimes 1 a.m.
Like 1 a.m. and
is
then
that Friday nights or something?
No, bro, it's like Monday or Tuesday nights.
Oh, dang.
And then we go to work
nights.
at 6:30 the next morning.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Just as useless zombies, probably.
Commitment, dude.
Do it because you love it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when we were writing for the new EP, it got a little rough. We would have.
We had a deadline for recording, and we were trying to finish that last song, and so
like twice a week we'd be in there till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. Yeah, and going to work. Yep.
Now you guys have a few singles out and an EP. Is it the Sudden Death EP?
Well, it's called 20th Century Static.
Okay, and then Sudden Death
was the first single.
I guess I'm just saying that song because it was my favorite. But,
it's sick. So
and then you guys did 3 music videos with Lawn Chair Youth. Like walk me through like the process of like recording that music and then how you got hooked up with Lawn Chair.
Sure. So like I was saying, me and Casey wrote songs, and some of those were singles we put out that aren't that great, but kind of helped establish our sound to like at least an audience. And then once Ryan and Nathan got involved, we really started to like hone in on things. But like what they were talking about, they have such a history of writing together. So that EP has 4 songs. So they mainly wrote 2 of the songs, True Lies and Sudden Death. And then me and Casey mainly wrote the other 2, which are Under Siege and Bad Boys. And it's funny because like when you really pay attention, you can see like the influences and like, oh, well, it makes sense that these 2 wrote this song and these 2 wrote that song. Right.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And as far as like the music videos go, like I don't really know much about Lawn Chair Youth, but what was it like working with them?
It was great.
Yeah,
so
that's super chill.
Yeah, that's Tim. Tim does Lawn Chair Youth. He does vocals in a band called Gimmick.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah,
out of Birmingham. He's a cool guy. He works real hard. We got connected with him through, I guess, probably playing LCY first, the venue, because they used to do shows there also. And then just the bands we made connections with and friends with, like the Alabama scene is almost like our second home because of that. And so we kind of just, you ask around, it's like, hey, you did this black and white uncut video, like how do you do that? And so then I got in touch with Tim. Yeah, we did it for that first single, Demolition Man.
Yeah.
And then we kind of had a plan for when we were putting out the record at the time, which was 20th Century Static, of do a lead single, a video for it, and Sudden Death, and then another LCY cut for the second single, which was True Lies. What the funny story about that is we recorded both of those videos in the same day. It was rough.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Casey was
Like
having
four out of the 5 band members were alive. The 5th band member, he had died like 3 hours before. Like, because we were drenched in sweat because we had to do it outside.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Parts of it,
Yeah.
and then
That's
like
the kind of VHS looking one.
Yep.
yeah. So we did a bunch of that outside, and like you did the entire song, and
3 takes.
he was like, "All right, we're gonna do it again," and you just like for Casey like.
He was like having like a back issue or something
Yeah,
at the time,
dude,
or
he
a
was
neck
like
issue.
trying to like
Yeah.
throw his body around as if we were still like 19.
Right.
And,
wow.
and he felt that.
He went hard.
Oh, dude, he felt that. So
He's the oldest one in the band too,
yeah,
like over 40.
yeah.
That's
So it was funny.
Yeah.
I think those videos look cool, man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
they
man.
look cool.
I
Yeah.
love the way they look. They give you kind of an idea of what the band looks like and sounds like, you know, and it's very like stripped down and simple.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's almost like a live performance in a way. So I just love that there's something like that out there.
Yeah, it's very cool. It was a really good idea. He's really smart about it from like a
Dude,
business standpoint.
Yeah, I was gonna say from the
Yeah.
business side of that, that's a genius move that they did.
Because he makes it
Absolutely.
affordable, and bands either maybe if they're coming through to Birmingham, he would even get like bigger bands to do it. I mean, some of those bands have like blown up because of their LCY video.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. They were
I
like
think Delta Hate has quite a few views on
yeah.
one of their
It's like-
videos too.
Yeah,
over 100,000 or
yeah. There's
over
several
a
bands in
million or
there
something
that's
like
done
that.
some cool stuff.
yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
think he does. I mean, outside of the heavy music industry, I mean, like he did a lot of rap music.
Yes, a lot
Videos
of rap
for
music
Birmingham
videos.
area.
hmm
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it just seems so daunting to do a music video. You know, it seems like it's complicated. So it seems like he removed a lot of the complicatedness.
The black
you know?
and white just on the white wall.
The one
that's-
take. It's
the
one take. So he just
Yeah,
like
literally,
roams
he just,
around
like,
with the
roams
camera.
around.
Oh, he doesn't
Yeah.
make you play the song like 50 times?
No,
No.
no, he just like deafens you by the
I think
speakers.
we did 2 takes, and we were like, yeah, the first one
Yeah.
was the best
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
He just
But
cranks
usually-
up like how speakers loud enough to cover the top of
Cymbals,
drums, so you
yeah.
don't hear the drums.
Yeah.
And yeah, you
Yeah.
just
Wow.
it's a 3-minute song. It's 3 minutes of hell on earth, and then
Right,
you're
because
done.
you like, you have to like overact for a video.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you put like all of your energy in it, and then you have to do it again. Or if you do, like we did a real video too that same day, where we did like solo takes of each person, and you had to do it at least 3 or 4 times of the
Right.
whole song. Oh, yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it was fun. It was, yeah,
It's brutal.
it was fun.
I'm glad we did, though.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something fun to do.
Reminds me of when I'm doing playthroughs. I will usually play the song like 4, 5, 6 times because I get different angles, you know.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like, it's in this room, and the temperature of the room will go up like 15 degrees, you know. And then I'll have to cut the solos or do the other guitar parts. So yeah, like playthroughs, they suck because
they get gnarly.
you just don't get a lot of views on them. There was a
right.
time on YouTube
Yeah.
where like guitar playthroughs, like people ate them up, right? And unless it's like I try to find songs that are like really like the hardest stuff that you could try to play, you
Right.
know?
Well, you would think that's what someone would want to see, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I try to find stuff that hasn't been covered before.
We'll just know from another guitar player we love you because, dude,
bro.
I love watching playthroughs. Like, I mean, I could go get the tabs for it,
Right.
but holy cow, it's so much easier for my brain to understand.
Right. Oh, there's
Even
a
though I
video
can
of
read,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
even though I can
Right,
read music. I mean, you could
Right.
put it in individual notes, and I mean, I could read it, but that doesn't mean I want to.
Sure.
I'd much rather watch playthroughs that's at 50 different angles. Like, oh, that's what
Sick.
that's doing.
Mhm.
So, thanks.
Awesome. So how did you guys get hooked up with Fliora for this tour? Just homies with them, or?
That's
yeah,
Jason.
we've played with them probably 3 times before we toured with them by chance. Like the first time was actually Nashville. And that was just like we needed just the same date that they happened to need while they were on the road. So we played with them, and they were awesome. They thought we were awesome. We just connected like on that kind of level, and that they were cool dudes, right? Liked hanging out. And then we were on a different tour with Delta Hate and Power Play, and went through Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the tour that they were on also came through on the exact same day. And so we kind of combined 2 tours for one show, so we got to play with them again. I hyped them up so hard to like Delta Hate. I was like, Fliora is so sick. You're going to love it.
They are.
Yeah. And then we played with them another time in Knoxville, which was, I think they already had a date, but they just hit us up. It was like, hey, you guys are close. You want to play this show? I was like, yes. And so we've just kind of been homies, right? Since then, I know we're very different sonically, right? Yeah. But that was actually something that me and Riley talked about, that we liked about pitching a package together of us.
It's nice to have some variety.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
4 bands doing the same thing, you know, that's not exactly a good time.
Right.
Jason, like when it comes to like lyrical themes, what the existing music that's out, what do you typically write songs about? And then eventually I want to get to some of the new stuff too.
It's usually a spurn from a lot of personal issues, but things I try to write general enough where people can relate, right? And I'm the kind of guy, I always want to dig in and find how can I make myself stand out, right? Especially like the post-COVID boom of aggressive music, and even in the South, right? We have so many peers and so many bands that are all awesome, right? And we're all doing the same thing, like trying to do these short runs all around where we can and get our bands out there. So even into things like the lyrics, like I try to think about how can I separate myself from my peers, so possibly Kick Out at 2 will stand out, right? And so rather than focusing on things that hardcore has typically focused on, like injustices and things, and standing up for yourself against wrongdoing and things like that, unity and all that, and all that is awesome, obviously. I just tried to focus on, well, okay, that's kind of already covered, right? Let me maybe just turn the camera inside and maybe focus on some personal issues, and maybe people can relate to that and it can help them, right? I know like the song Under Siege is the first song on 20th Century Static. It's a song I wrote probably in a single day after an issue with a family member that had like was abusing alcohol, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and I personally am straight edge. And so it just came together so fast and just made me think about how it was such a, I don't know, I guess just a good thing, even though it can be hard just to abstain from things like that. Like to not rely on a crutch to help you get through something that's hard, but to try to be the best version of yourself for the people that you love, right? And so that's what that song's about. And I hope that people can relate to that, like outside of, straight edge, just generally just trying to be the best version of yourself, right? And then also there's like a flip-sided coin to that song that I don't talk about a whole lot because I did write it so generally, but it's also about faith. It's about me still being a Christian when I've seen so many of my peers and friends around me like keep Christian faith but then fall out, right? And kind of feeling like I'm still one of the only ones holding on, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the flip side of that. Like you can take it like that if you like really read into it. I don't really talk about that like aspect of that song a lot, but it's there. It was there when I wrote it for sure. So
yeah, I've felt like that for a long time, man. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you put that out there. That's heavy, man. I think, not to like try to piss anyone off that's listening to this, but maybe I will. But I think people just want to do what they want to do.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't want to adhere to any kind of moral code, and if you're not following something like Christ, and the teachings that he had, kind of opens the door up to a lot of things,
right? Oh, absolutely. Like we were just talking about, like abusing like drugs and alcohol and things like that, when you're having to rely on a crutch rather than relying on a path that was already set for you, right? As an example. But, and I mean, to your point, Drew, I think like you can still do all that without like adhering to something like Christianity. You just make the best choices for yourself, and you can still, be a good person, and that's your choice.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's an eternal side to that,
obviously.
that you and I know about.
Yep.
You guys cool if we talk about gear for a little bit? Kind of like
There's your boy right there.
I'm here, brother.
You're the gear daddy.
Here.
Your
Well,
daddy.
I want to hear about drums though, Ryan.
Okay.
Like what
I ain't
kind
got a
of
clue.
like drums and cymbals do you like to play the most, man?
I've kind of been, I don't know, like stuck playing Zildjian cymbals since, I don't know, I was young. And as a drummer, you kind of like you find the things you like and you kind of just stick with them. And I'm already a pretty like creature of habit person, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Zildjian cymbals. I think all my cymbals are that. And then I've had like a DW kit. It's like a bottom of the line DW kit for a while now. But I mean, I hardly ever even use it because we're always, sharing gear and like with the band. Yeah. So it's like, it is nice when I get to use it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's nice post-COVID, because we're old enough. Nobody shared gear.
No,
You had to roll on your own cabs, your own
dude.
head, and set up drums every time. Now
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, for the most part. For the most part.
Cabs though, we shared cabs, but
Yeah.
But when you're playing in a metal band, you got to have your own drum kit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Mike from Delta 8's like that. He'll always bring his, and then Adam from Fliora is the same way.
Because like people's arms are different lengths and they're different heights,
yeah.
and then the angles of all of the equipment too. I mean, I know you can adjust that stuff.
It's always something I'm thinking about when I'm using somebody else's stuff. There's always like a little bit of anxiety there, I'm just like, because I don't know what I'm going to be playing. I'm going to wonder like what's this going to be like? So it's always just a surprise.
Cool. As far as like heads and sticks, like is there a certain brand that you like there too?
Mainly used Vic Firth sticks.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. Heads, I've kind of gone to different heads. Play Evans right now. I played Aquarian for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that super kick
yeah,
drum, man.
I've had that one on my bass drum for a long time. Yeah.
Rules.
Super kick too.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like Evans are like way more popular now, like than they were. Like Remo kind of owned everything in like the 90s and the 2000s, and since like 2010, like I just see Evans everywhere. Like that's what people play.
They're easy to tune.
Yeah, for sure. What about like pedals, man? Like for like double bass pedal.
I've had a pair of DW 9000s for
ever.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
probably
like
7 years now or something.
Top of the line, kind of industry standard pedal, right?
I want some pedals that just feel like butter,
Yeah,
just when you play them.
For sure. Very cool, man. Who are your like drum influences? Like when you think about drummers,
It's weird because I don't like I like other. I feel like a lot of drummers probably have big influences, or they're gonna name like the big ones and everything. I don't like have any of the big ones as influences. I would say like, and the biggest influence for me, because Under Oath was my favorite band for so many years. So Aaron Gillespie is just like always, I would say is for like influence he's always been like the main thing, and it still influences like the way I play like fills and stuff. Like different bands I've been in, like I'm like stealing some of his like little fills, like they're always like within the songs and stuff. And then when I was younger, Travis Barker was an influence because I was like a lot of people obsessed with Blink-182.
Yeah, man.
As a teenager and stuff. Yeah.
Like I recently watched like a Travis Barker like video on YouTube where he's in his studio. He's got this giant like drum room set up, and there's like, I don't know, like 4 kits in this room.
I've seen that, yeah.
And they're all like different. They're all mic'd up, like ready to go. And
gotta be nice, dude. Gotta be nice.
And he collaborates with people that you wouldn't think, like rappers, and like he's all over the place. Like, yeah, he's what a G. And Aaron Gillespie too. My God, we watched the audio tree session that they did recently.
We were just talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
I was getting them into the newest Under Oath album because it just surprised me. I didn't really get into their last one. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's killer, man. You know what other drummer I really like is the guy from Counterparts.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
robot.
seeing him play at Furnace Fest this past year, like because by the time they played, I had seen like 20 drummers or 30 drummers or something, and like it was such a difference. Like with no offense, like no shade on the other bands, but like that guy's dialed in a different way, man.
Yeah,
like,
he's like part robot or something, like half.
Yeah, I wish I knew his name. Sorry, bro. We'll get you on the show at some
Kyle
point.
Brownlee.
Kyle Brownlee?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
He has like his own YouTube channel. He did like before he was in Counterparts. He was like a big like YouTube drummer.
Huh.
Right, yeah. No,
That's
he's
cool.
awesome.
Wow,
Legit.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm big on do you remember that band Saints Never Surrender? That was a Blood and Ink band. They were awesome. So they have this record called Brutus. The drumming on that record is incredible. Like for a hardcore album, like one that's like, inspired by that style of melodic hardcore, like very Shah Hulud, kind of like almost sporadic sometimes in its structure. But what's funny about that drummer is that's the guy that recorded that ended up becoming, I can't remember his name now, but he was like a electronic, like emo pop guy after that.
Skrillex?
No, he had like straight flat hair and he would wear like a little headband thing on it. He had a song that made it to the radio, but he was a big like MySpace one of those. I can't remember what his name was.
Was Saints Never Surrender? Was that a Christian metal band?
I don't think they were Christian.
No.
They were from Indiana.
Okay.
I think, but they were Blood and Ink. And then they got the guy from Means to be on vocals, and they were Continuance, and they put that on Rise Records, which is cool. But they're awesome. I love stuff like that. Like that style of melodic hardcore is awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that name sounded so familiar. But dude, you're a gear dad? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we love gear.
So what are you playing on this tour with Kick Out at 2 and Fliora?
Yeah, so Fliora was nice enough to let us use their cabs. They got some like late 70s Ampeg cabs.
Whoa.
That then they modified the speakers out in them. So they kind of have their own like voicing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just cool. We traditionally run the just Marshall 1968 cabs. I've had everything from Mesas to Marshalls and everything in between, PVs for a while. And like, I just landed on Marshalls. It was just something I personally liked.
Yeah.
And I have two of them from years gone by. So both me and KCR, the guitar player, both run Marshall cabs.
Are they like JCM 2000s or
The cabs
900s
or
or
the
800s? Like the cabs. Like,
the cabs are just the standard 1968.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're JCM 900 1968s, if I remember correctly. I ripped all the decals off of them, so
Gotcha.
They're just blacked out cabs now.
For sure. I've had really bad luck with Marshall cabs. Sometimes you get like the first one I had when I was like a kid was like amazing.
Yeah.
It was like a 1968, but a 2000.
Okay.
But then I actually got a 900 like a couple years ago, and I think something was wrong with the speakers, but it sounded terrible.
But I've owned the same cabs for 17 years.
Yeah. Once you find
beat
once
up
you get
from
the
the
tone,
road, but like, they were just what I wanted. So yeah,
sure.
we run that, and then we're still old school. We still run heads.
Yeah.
I'm really old school. I play a 1978 Marshall JMP.
Cool, man.
That I'm probably crazy enough to bring on the road with me in not a road case. So both me and Casey are kind of old school in that world. Like we're both Gibson guys. So I play a black Les Paul. He plays a black SG. He runs a Mesa Mark V, and I run
Killer
the old
amp.
Yeah. Killer amp, just super hard to dial in. But like once you get it, they scream.
Yeah.
So we just do that in the Marshall. We like it because we get a little. If you light pick enough, you can clean up some stuff for little parts. It's not just full tilt the whole time. Now, don't get me wrong. I love 5150s, and I've recorded with them. I've owned them and everything else. When I got to the Marshall, I was just like, I like this. And like now, being in our late 30s, like playing out, like, dude, that's something you don't see.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like we've played festivals, and like I will be the only guy in the whole festival with a Marshall. Everyone runs a Mesa cab with a 5150 or a Mesa dual rec and a Mesa cab.
Yeah.
Like nobody runs Marshalls.
Wow.
At all. And so it's always fun for me. It's like, oh, listen to this.
I think that comes back into like how we have crafted our specific sound.
Yeah.
Right, to really kind of stand out again, like finding ways to stand out from our peers because they're all awesome, right? And so just trying to find ways, hey, like when you see a bill full of hardcore bands that maybe will be the one you remember when you go home, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is cool, man. Do you have to use like a distortion pedal or an overdrive to go in front of that? Or?
Yeah, we both do. I think Casey just runs just a standard like tube screamer, like a TS9.
Yeah.
I've got way too many pedals from years of playing. So I like for most of mine, because that JMP cranked is very similar to JCM 800. Because even with a Les Paul, like for our music and for most heavy bands, like it's not heavy enough. You're not going to get enough gain out of them. So like I run the Bondi sick ass overdrive.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I have that one,
Yeah.
and then I have a Super Chili Picasso, which is just a clean boost. And I primarily run. Yeah, I learned that one years ago. I put that pedal at like 11 o'clock on a cranked out JCM 800, and I thought it was like one of the best sounds I'd ever had. And I didn't even own the pedal, so I hunted it down some years later and was like, yeah, this can be my sound.
Yeah, man.
And we don't have to have a ton of effects. I mean, we just run basic delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
you have a
just
lead part. Or an
just to
octave
cover
part.
all the octave runs and lead stuff that we have. We just run delay and overdrives basically. Now my board looks fancier than that, but like
You know,
other than
use
that,
half of it. Yeah.
no, you know, we're keeping it as simple as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys just like you play to a click or anything like that, or?
It's funny that you say that.
Yeah,
'cause
funny you
we,
say, because that's something
getting ready to. Yep.
That's something
Yeah.
we're going to transition to. We were originally a full 5-piece
Yep.
setup, so we just kind of played it natural and enjoyed. And you know, now we're kind of looking at some different ideas of possibly, you know, covering bass on like a click track. And you know, right now we're having to do some of like we'll jokes like backing tracks. It's more like just audio feed stuff in between like songs. Like we have to manually do that with like loop pedals.
Right.
Like to
You
play
know,
like audio clips. And
Yeah,
stuff.
to play like
Right.
audio clips. So we've talked about the idea of just like, dude, let's just put this on
A click.
a click. We'll put Ryan on a click. Me and Casey could run clicks in our ears if we want to, because we got the wireless packs. Like we could do that if we want to. If not, then we could just everything follow off the drummer. But stick us as a 4P and just make us tighter. It makes things just automated.
Yeah.
Like
You
running
know.
2 guitars and running bass like out through a head and a cab, but it just
Yeah.
being tracked.
For sure.
Like, it's like the counterparts method or the stick to your guns method, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean, like, yeah, you get lucky, you know. I mean, if you're out for 2 weeks, you would probably get 3 to 4 days out of 2 weeks. You would get lucky to have a big enough system where you could just DI straight into a main system.
Right.
So we said it may be cool just to go ahead and throw the bass DI straight into the front of an actual like bass head and into the 810 Ampeg. So you still have a live.
It still feels.
It still feels like there's a dude
Yeah.
there that's just not there.
right.
Right.
So we haven't got to do that yet. We got to go in
working
and
on
track all that.
Yep.
But like
It's a big undertaking,
Yeah.
man.
it is. It's
I've
money.
been-
And me and Jason talked
it is
about it.
money.
Like
Yeah.
the amount of time that really takes to kind of dial all that in
Oh, yeah.
is not
Yeah.
easy if you ain't got no kids and you ain't got nothing better to do.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
full-time job. Like this is your full. Yeah, it's easier. But
Yeah.
for us, it's going to be a little.
We're like right at the start of it. We like
Yeah.
just finished tracking our new record.
Yep.
And so we're going to have those stems like with clicks and bass. And so we're just going to have to redo the old stuff. But then we'll have it. We'll piece it all together.
So it'll be
Yeah.
fun.
A lot of bands are doing that now, and I think it can really help glue everything together.
Oh man, it
and-
can make a sloppy band sound good.
Yeah, we're
Just
excited about it
because
helping
the-
us be tight.
Yeah, just
Cues,
because
too,
you
you
don't.
can-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the downside is you lose the emotion, maybe, you know, of where you may get excited where you're playing 5 BPM faster than you should have
Oh,
because
right.
you're emotionally,
Yep.
you're excited about that part, or, you know, maybe you're doing a breakdown and you decide to do it
Slower.
slower than what you actually recorded it. But like, I throw those ideas out the window considering how tight you could be with it. So,
Yeah, I still feel kind of torn a little bit with it when I think about it because
Yeah.
I love being tight so much
Yeah.
as a band. But yeah, like I've never played to a click live, so I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an experience, man. I've done that several times, and then I actually had to build like a set,
yeah.
and it was
that's
like a
what we're
couple
having to do.
days of like,
Yeah.
you know, putting tracks in the computer and but they've got a lot of different ways to do that more cheaply now. You don't have to spend like $10,000
Yeah,
unless
right.
you want to.
Well, that's
So
what's
there's-
crazy now is like,
Yeah,
I mean, man, you could sit in your basement and put out. I mean, these guys on YouTube, man, make stuff sound like as good as
Yeah. Well, I mean, look
the
at like
Black
Billie
album
Eilish.
from Metallica, and they literally never
Yeah.
left their basement. Metallica probably spent $40,000 in 2 months to record all that, and we did it in
yeah.
3 hours in everything's DI'd. Like,
Right.
like it don't get a whole lot cooler than that.
For sure. Well, Jason, you mentioned that there's some new music coming this year from Kick Out at 2.
Yes, sir. Finally.
Yeah.
So talk about how you guys recorded the new record, and then maybe we can get into some lyrical themes.
Sure. So we recorded our old record, 20th Century Static, in Chattanooga,
Yeah, I got lucky.
with Matt Goldman. I don't know if you're familiar with Matt Goldman.
Yeah, I
Okay,
am.
so that was a big deal for us,
Yeah.
right? We got to work with Matt. It was an awesome experience. Matt is the kind of guy that will find the way to get the absolute best out of you, but still be like the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Right. And it's awesome. You could tell that's why he's got multiple gold records. Right. But what we found with working with Matt is we had this very natural sound, which was cool, and we really liked for that record. But we were really hoping to get something that felt more modern this time around, right? And so we kind of shopped around, asked some of our peers who they were using. We really liked how the new Shogun EP sounded.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I reached out to Sammy and talked to him, and they worked with Dalton Skinner in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I know that like JT and Cold Hard Steel just did
Yeah.
some stuff. Yep. Our boys,
Yeah, brother.
our boys in Ritual Killer worked with Dalton
Yeah.
and have for years. So we're I said we just finished. We're almost done tracking with Dalton. But it was an awesome experience. I loved working with Dalton. He is super knowledgeable, got the best out of us, and has a lot of great like producing that he's been doing, like just on the tracking so far. So it's great. I mean, did you guys like working with Dalton?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was super easy for us. It was cool. I thought, at least on some of it, for like we got to run some really cool items with Matt that he had.
Like heads and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yep.
we got to use like a cool old JCM 800 with like a modded out Boss overdrive, and I mean, like, it was awesome. But like, once some of that like once it went into his like finalizings, I have no clue what happened to that point. Like, he could have totally trashed every one of those tracks and reran it through something else. But like with Dalton, like, we got to run through all of that. So like, I tried their best. Like, when we recorded guitars, like, it was like the best representation of what we are. Like, I took my Marshall.
Yeah.
We used his 5150, but like, we dialed in the tones that like what me and Casey sound like live. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like we played an Engel that like we've never owned or
Right.
played. They're awesome heads,
Yeah.
but it's not like,
You gotta-
I'm never going to go buy an Engel. Like,
Right.
as cool as they
Yeah.
are. So I personally enjoyed it, and I mean, he tracks like a monster.
Man,
I mean, like,
fast.
Got some
And,
fast
like,
hands.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Fast
he,
fingers. Good.
yeah, dude. His key motion on the keyboard was ridiculous. On being able to do things, and then just, I mean,
It saves a lot of time.
It does,
Oh,
man. It
yeah.
saves a lot of
When you
time.
work with somebody
Which
like
we
that.
needed. Yeah.
And he's in our age bracket.
Yeah, which is nice too.
you know, and he's doing this as like a kind of a main income, and so like, Joker would be like, hey, yeah, like, we need to do 15 hours today, we'll do 15 hours. Like, zero cares.
You know, make it
Brought his
happen.
lunch, he'd heat it up in a microwave and just never left his chair. And it was like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's
you
the
didn't
man.
get the 8-hour day and we're done. Like,
Yeah,
if you wanted to just stay there all night, he would have just hung out with you all night.
that's
Cool.
awesome. I've only heard good things about him, man.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he killed it with
This
for Ryan. On
You guys
the
are
drum
the third
stuff.
band that has talked about
Oh,
Dalton.
talked about
Yeah.
Dalton.
on the show,
we were
so.
talking about that the other day. Is we think, Dalton does Anchor Sound Studios. Hit him up.
Yes.
But we really think that he's on the up and up. So
For
we're
sure.
glad we caught him where he is now, because I think he's just going to get better and better work. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
for
got a
sure.
sweet little studio set up there in Knoxville. Like, it's legit.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick,
So you're
man.
not,
Yep.
you're not you're not stressed about the neighbors calling the police because you're too loud or something because you're
Right.
recording in some guy's basement. Like it's a legitimate full-blown studio that he's got set
Very
up.
cool.
He really knows what he's doing. Like I
Yeah,
think
he does.
one of my favorite parts was the producing aspect of it. Like that was something we kind of lacked a little bit with Matt that we wish we'd gotten more of. And this time we were glad we worked with a guy that was more in tune with aggressive music, but also had good ideas kind of a little outside of the box for like, we want something that sounds more modern and more polished this time around.
Yeah.
And he's really helped us like tune that in this time for
I
sure.
think that's what, like Jason said, like
Matt's
freaking like
I mean,
unbelievable,
phenomenal.
dude. I mean, like unbelievable. But he would tell you out front, like, hey, if you're looking for modern metal, like I'm not your guy.
That's not really what I do.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
of course. Yeah.
You know, and the way he did things was totally different than what Dalton does.
Mhm.
I mean, totally different. Like just like it's more of an organic sound off of that.
Yep.
That first demo or EP that we got, like it's more of a modern or less modern, more organic feel to it, just with that way he is, which I think is
It still sounds great.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
They
what's
both
the
sound like
chances you
great
get-
producers. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Just literally one side of the spectrum versus the other.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. Cool, man. So the new songs, like how long did you guys spend like writing these songs? And Jason, maybe you can talk about what's been going on in your head, man, in terms of like lyrics and stuff like that.
Sure. Well, do you want to speak in a little bit about writing the songs?
It's like we had two of the songs. We had one song written for a while, and our other guitarist who isn't here, Casey, he had some help in writing that song. But then the next three songs, the three of us just kind of wrote together. And the second song, Dobbs kind of just had a brilliant vision for it. I remember showing up like late to practice, and what he had written for like the second half of the song, I remember just like leaving that night just being so psyched on like what we recorded just like on our phone and like listening to it over and over. It's just like I was like, I don't even really like think much needs to change like as far as like what was written structurally and all that. And then it's like the next two songs we wrote, the last two, I feel like we had to like hammer it a little more, you know, because like, you know, we knew we were on like a time frame now, especially the last song. But yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I like my personal favorite. It will be the first song on the EP. That's my favorite one. That's the second one we wrote.
Yeah.
We take a while to write. We really do. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
We're a very,
lot of people do.
We talk about this. Compared to our peers, I feel like we're very like quality over quantity kind of band, which isn't great in the digital media age.
Yeah.
Right. But, and just because of personal lives, like me and Nathan have kids, Casey has a kid now, we all have like careers, you know, outside of the band. So it's just hard to get together and make it happen.
And I mean, it's tough. Like we talked about earlier, like we're doing this at like 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night. Like we've
so you already wore out.
You know, like I work outside for a
your
living.
brain's
So
not
like
working as
I've
well.
already worked outside from 7 a.m. that morning until like 6 o'clock
Yeah.
in the heat. And then I go inside and see my wife and family, put my daughter to bed. My wife goes to bed. And then I show up and supposed to have like premium brain cells left. You know, and it's just like, so
For
like
writing.
for writing. So like,
music.
we kind of crap out occasionally on some of
Yeah,
that.
man. That like at least you show up though and you do the thing. And I think that's like most of it.
Yeah, and man, you know, like I said, me and Ryan had been together for years doing some of this, and so like we have this kind of method of madness that like I know like for us, like if we're writing, like a lot of times I'll try to like bring something to the table. Like it ain't got to be a finished piece, but at least I have something to bring to the table. You know, I'm bringing at least a
Half a song.
yeah, I'm bringing a piece of chicken to the table and saying, hey, everybody can eat off of this piece of chicken. I'm not coming empty-handed, just assuming. And if we can do that, we normally have a better process. Like with Jason, like Ryan said, like he comes up with these like phenomenal ideas, but he's not a guitar player.
No.
And so he's, you know, I'm showing up just barehanded, nothing there. And Jason's like, hey, I'm thinking of this. He'll sing you something. He may play something, but like, I need it similar to this. So you're trying to like instantaneously write.
Yeah.
But that's some of the best stuff is just mouthing a
but it's
breakdown.
so
you know,
hard
mouthing.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hard.
Well, the band would, if it was just me and Nathan writing a whole song, the band wouldn't sound the same as it is like when he jumps in and because it's
we
just
walk a
like
different,
that's kind of we've learned. That's kind of how we work together. The writing.
Yeah, me and
now.
him, we
It's
walk
like,
a different different hardcore road than like Jason.
Yeah,
does.
we're like our favorite bands are a little different kind of hardcore than like his.
They're
in a way.
Yeah, like we're a little more straightforward. And so I always tell them, I said, because it can get a little difficult if you don't have the post stuff finished. And I said, basically, let's write a very traditional hardcore song, and then we put the stuff on top of it that makes it what we sound like.
Yeah, I think like one of these songs that's going to be on the new record, like you guys started like with it one way, which is still kind of like half of the song.
Yeah.
But then I came in and things just trigger in my brain when I hear it. And then I'm able to kind of like find references. I'm a big picture guy, like structure. And I might show Nathan something from my band. It's like, I really like how this riff makes you feel. Like, and in this certain like flow, but don't play it like just like that. Like let's find a way to fit this in here. And Ryan will come up with an awesome transition. And that's kind of how they flow together. But they might have something that's like really fast and really short and straightforward. Like one of the songs ended up, and then it's probably going to be the single and has like a huge singing chorus now and like all this. And so it's funny, like the way we end up melding together to kind of make what Kick Out at 2 sounds like.
And then just remembering what the song sounded like,
Before,
when we started. It's just completely different.
Yeah, because like a lot of times, like in this past writing of this, our other guitar player was having a kid.
Yeah, so he wasn't
and so,
really involved.
He was not getting to really be around a lot. So I was writing these rhythmatic ideas that if you just play us as a 4-piece and no lead, like we sound just like a
Terror or something.
Yeah, we're just like a hardcore band. Like nothing more than that. It's all the octaves and the lead stuff that makes it, what we are, pretty boy hardcore. Like,
sure, pretty boy hardcore.
Yeah, whatever
That's
it
what
may
we'll
be.
call
I
it.
don't know what the word is for that, but like, and so that was really tough.
Yeah,
because like we would come out with this song idea that sounded a certain way, and man, I don't know, dude, like that doesn't really sound like us. And it was like, hang on, let me go home to Ableton and record for this weekend and try to write lead riffs so it sounds like. And when you put the lead riffs on, it's like, oh, this doesn't even sound like the same song.
Right.
But that was hard for us because we were trying to do that like in between, Casey having a baby, all of us working, so when we went to the studio to drop some of this, it was like some of it was borderline like the first time we'd heard these lead riffs on top of the rhythm tracks.
So psyched about it, hearing our songs the way they're supposed to sound.
That's
finally.
fun, man.
Or maybe you have like a big bass part in the middle of a song.
Right.
Like all I could do is just play it on guitar if we're just kind of jamming out.
Right.
So like you didn't really get to have an idea how that was going to sound with bass, and it was like, sweet, sounds good. Like
that's been
God.
this week a little bit too, like being able to hear our songs the way they're supposed to sound live.
Yeah.
Finally, with 2 guitars and
guys, I'm stoked to hear this new record. Can you tell us what it's called yet? Or
it'll be an EP. You'll have 4 songs again.
Okay.
It's called Choke.
Okay.
It's one word. That name comes from it kind of like for theming for the whole record, but a very specific thing like for us as a band where I mentioned earlier we like the Alabama like hardcore scene is kind of our second home. And so our buddy English, who plays guitar in a band called Commodity and also My Reply, was able to get us on one of our first shows in Alabama. And we got to play with this touring band that was on Metal Blade at the time called Capra, which was cool. So we got to open that show. It was when LCUI was doing shows. And we met a ton of people that night, made a bunch of friends with all the bands that played, like Commodity, English's band, Twisted Luck, Gutter, and then like bands that were in the scene that were there also just like as a part of the show, just hanging out, like Delta Hate, who we're big buds with now, and Stay Lost, bands like that. And so it was awesome. We kind of got established in the Alabama hardcore scene from there. So we got another opportunity later to play a show at Workplay, which is, I was stoked, right? Because Workplay is all the people that run Furnace Fest.
Right.
So I saw it as, all right, this is our opportunity. We've been grinding, trying to play as much as we can and putting out good music. And hopefully now is our time to take advantage of that and maybe get an opportunity like that. Like to really show out and impress somebody and get to a spot at something like Furnace Fest, right? But man, I feel like that day. I don't know what was going on, but we just
choked.
Yeah, we did not play a good set. It was disappointing. It has weighed heavy on me for a long time. And so that's where choke comes from. I just feel like we choked, right? And it's something that, because it weighs heavy on me, I mean, it drives me, right, to make this band the best it can be, to create opportunities for ourselves, just to keep trying to play in all these different scenes in the Southeast, the Midwest, Florida, Carolinas, wherever, just so that we can hope to make connections and get our music to new people, and be as tight as we can be, so we're ready when an opportunity comes like that. And when it came, it just, and we blew it. Like, I felt defeated, man. And like, it's this feeling that I know people can relate to, right? When you work so hard at something and you fail, right? But you have to pick yourself back up and try again. And it's that drive that keeps us going and keeps us, we're out on the road now trying to do it to it. And so the new record's called Choke. That theme is kind of across a lot of the songs about feeling failure, but a little hints of hope in there. This record is a little more pessimistic, but yeah.
Dude, sounds cool, man. I'm stoked to hear it.
Thanks, man.
And it's going to be out in April, you said?
Probably April or early May. It depends on when we get mixes and masters back and can get like CDs or vinyl made and all that, and get ready to put things out. Possibly do a video or something for a lead single, and try to have it ready to go close to time of release. So we're still cooking, trying to get everything lined up on a short timeline. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get it out, because we've had the same 4 songs out for a year and a half, right? And that's, in this digital age, it's not much at all.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's been hard to get quality things we're really happy with out, but I'm excited. I feel like it's a progression for our sound a little bit. Like the last record, only one of the songs had singing on it. And that's another thing where we try to stand out from our peers. We're a hardcore band with singing, right? But this record, we were very intentional. Like, I think every song either has a singing chorus or a singing part, right? And that's what we want. We want to put out. We enjoy that, and we hope that people like it too. So we'll see.
Cool, man. Yeah. Very sick. Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you guys this at the beginning of the interview, but Kick Out at 2, is that like a bar reference? Like
a bar reference?
Like getting kicked out of the bar. Like the bar is
that'd be pretty funny.
About a bar reference.
What does that explain? What that means?
That's all Jason.
No, it's right. So I love pro wrestling, right? So that's my deal. I grew up watching pro wrestling, and I started the band with Casey, and he's a big pro wrestling guy too. And it's funny, you might know this person. So well, and again, with being very intentional to try to stand out from our peers, everyone has like 1 or 2 word names, right? So I was dead set. I'm like, all right, let's find a name with like 4 words in it or something, right? And so I was just racking my brain for a long time, and I was like, I want to make sure it has a cool acronym too that I can use. And this guy I've been, buddies, acquaintances with for a long time, old Righteous Jesse from the Nashville scene. I don't know if you know Jesse.
Yeah.
So Jesse got heavy into wrestling.
Yeah.
Like with like announcing at like wrestling shows and stuff while I was wrestling. So we kind of reconnected there, like outside of music. But Jesse was doing a wrestling podcast for a long time that kind of died off. It hadn't done an episode for a year, but it was called Kick Out at 2. And I was like, man, that name is awesome. It would really work. So I just hit him up. I was like, do you plan on doing anything else with this? He's like, no, man, like you can have it. It's all you.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what we got. So there's our Nashville connection to how we got the name.
When you told me the name too of the band, I've always liked how it, like the name's kind of like a punchy, fast name, Kick Out at 2, and like the music is generally kind of fast. So I kind of like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I like the logo too. Logo's sick.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks. We got our friend Josh Nealance to design that for us. I actually went back and forth with him a lot. I feel bad. I was a little picky about it, but I'm a big comic book guy too. And I grew up on 90s comics, and they had these like big, bold like logos and stuff. I sent him a bunch of references of all that. And we finally kind of settled on this thing that has depth, right? And so it looks cool. And I'm glad, because that's something you need. Like if you're going to present yourself professionally, You got to have a logo that will stand out. Something also I love is that we're like the only logo you can read on most flyers.
Oh, dude,
Sick,
yeah.
right? So at least they know Kick Out at 2's playing.
Yeah.
Very sick. Well, guys, it means a lot to me that you wanted to come to the studio.
Dude, absolutely.
Thank you.
Lately,
Dude,
I've
Drew,
been
I'm a
going
big
to
fan
shows.
of what
Yeah,
you've been
dude.
doing.
Oh,
Like,
thanks, man.
Yeah, man, I love it because I love being plugged into everybody. I keep bringing this up, but like all our peers, because they're all so awesome, right? But you are really digging into all these people in our scene and giving them a chance to voice about their bands and how special they all are. And dude, it's really cool. And I'm glad.
man,
I feel privileged that you
Thanks for having us,
were
man.
willing to have us, man. It's really cool.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
that means the world. Yeah, I mean, we're not stopping anytime soon.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
just trying to keep growing, and like, I just hope this helps the scene and the bands in the scene and in Southeast hardcore and then metal too. Obviously, like
Right.
I'm a death metal guy. So, but yeah. Thank you guys for coming
Yeah, man.
over
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
being in
Thank
the
you.
studio today. And I'm stoked to see you guys rip tonight, going
Oh,
out
yeah.
to Cookeville. I haven't been to a show at Mean Mel's yet, so I'm very psyched to get over there. And you guys want to let us know where people can follow you in terms of like, what's the Instagram and
So
all
it's
that stuff?
it's all Kick Out at 2423 Chattanooga area code. Shout out. So across everything, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, like all that. So but
Pretty
that's
easy
probably,
to find on YouTube as well.
Right,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, you can just type out. I mean, there's not a whole lot of other bands called Kick Out at 2, so that helps. Right.
Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.